We just talked about the Nifty. We had started off well in the green, but now we've moved into the red. Focus on Tata Steel. Everyone's been talking about Tata Steel. I'll tell you what, there are a few factors that are playing out here. One is the fact that, there is optimism that the US and China, they'll come to a consensus in terms of trade talks and there will be some kind of agreement. So that's something that's buoying sentiment. The other factor is that, steel prices, they did move up by close to around $10 on a per ton basis just a few days ago. So that as well was good news. Tata Steel, I think, Mangalam, after the kind of run we've had, if you just pull up maybe a last 1 month chart, the stock has done quite well. And the sales volumes numbers were very, very good. But you need to throw some caution out there, because did they sell it at discounts? And did they export a larger quantity? If you're pushing through volumes, pricing as it is was not on your side. Q4 pricing was down by close to around 2,500 to 3,000 at least on steel. So maybe, the street is coming to terms with that. But otherwise, the stock has moved rather swiftly from around 500 to around 550 from the top, seeing some profit booking.
Absolutely, seeing a fair amount of volume push, but does that come at the cost of margins or not is something that we will know only once the company reports its results. But meanwhile, a lot of stocks which are moving higher. We have UPL, which has moved to the high point of the day. What a run that stock has had. It's up close to around 26% from the start of this year. However, from the deal levels of close to around 550 thereabouts, the lows, the stock has risen about 77-78% itself. This year up 25%, in the last 12 months up close to around 26-27 odd percent. But Ashwini Gujral joins in now for a quick check on the markets. Ashwini, we were hearing you earlier, you said dips must be bought, and we're in yet another dip. The positive point is that perhaps we're not falling too much, but then again we're dipping it, the Nifty is dipping its toes into the red.
Obviously, ahead of the manifesto, etc., the financials are kind of feeling, what extra may get announced. But broadly, I think the manifesto, etc., are in the price, and this is a good time to get long on Nifty, Bank Nifty. Keep a 50-point type of stop, because a lot of it is out there. So my sense is that particularly PSU banking is seeing buying, because a lot of it will get disbursed by the PSU banks. So for the moment, IndusInd Bank, that's showing you positive positive movement. That's a buy with a stop of 1770, target of 1810. BOB is a buy with a stop of 128, target of 140, and PNB is a buy with a stop of 90 and target of 102.
All right, any disclosures, Ashwini?
We have long positions on the Nifty.
All right, Ashwini, thanks a lot for that. Meanwhile, a couple of stocks which are in focus. We have DLF, which is seeing a sharp downtick, down about 6% just as we speak. And volumes obviously are large because there was that bulk deal that took place, 3.8% equity. So we'll keep...
I think if we have... Ashwini, do we still have Ashwini with us? Ashwini, yes. If you can hear us, DLF, the stock has seen a sharp downtick in the last few minutes. We had a large trade earlier today. We don't know what's the fundamental news and who were the parties to that particular deal. But if you could tell us on the charts, how's it looking?
DLF has been sideways for a long time, and I don't think it's really been able to break out of 220, etc. I think Godrej Properties is a much better stock, probably even Shobha Developers. The guys in the north have just not been able to compete with the guys in the south. Basically range bound, 140 is the downside, and 225, 230 is the upside.
Right, and on the other hand, Ashwini, we have Indiabulls Real Estate, which is moving higher, close to around 10%. Not sure if it is any sort of rub-off on what took place in the housing finance company or whatever it is. It's just a group company right now, up around 10% just as we speak, and with a fair amount of volumes as well. Do you think anything on the charts explains this move on Indiabulls Real Estate?
Well, it appears that Indiabulls Real Estate is bottoming out. For a long time. It was between, say, 65 and 100. Now above 100, I think you will find a strong move right up to 140, 145. It's anyways a fairly, volatile stock, and whenever there's movement in the group, it tends to move sharply. So if you want to buy right now, keep a 90 rupees type of stop and 145 as a target.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much, Ashwini, for joining in and giving us all those details. Well, Mangalam, quick point. DLF is below its QIP price as well. They recently had done a QIP at around 193 approximately. I think it received good demand as well. And also, it's below today's bull deal price as well. I want to just focus on the futures and option space. Yeah, out there, the total open interest is close to around 5.5 crore shares. Normally, DLF, the total open interest is around 3 crore shares. And today itself, the total open interest built up is quite large. 1.5 crore shares getting added up out there as well. So big action even in the futures space. Keep an eye out on DLF. The total open interest is much higher than the normal open interest that we've seen in the last few contracts. Slip in a short break, you come back. We'll get you an excerpt of a conversation that our colleague
Siemens Limited, the Indian arm of the German Siemens AG, is now betting big on small and medium orders for growth going forward. Speaking exclusively to our colleague Priya Shet at the Hanover Messe, Sunil Mathur, the MD and CEO of the company, says that he expects larger orders to come from the infrastructure and the power space. Here's a slice of that conversation.
Slowdown that was there, we did not have a slowdown in 17-18. We did extremely well in 17-18. We actually had over 10% growth in 17-18, and we continue to grow substantially well here in the country. The critical factor here is a lot of our business depends on infrastructure and how the infrastructure will actually develop in the country. As the infrastructure develops, our business will grow with it.
There has been, a loss or perhaps less large ticket orders that are coming your way. There are more small ticket orders coming. So when do you expect the tide to turn? When do you expect the larger orders to really start coming in?
You don't come in with large orders every day, right? So there are large orders out there. We are being picky about the kind of orders that we take. I am not looking to grow just for the sake of growing. I want profitable growth. And so we are being picky about the kind of orders. A large order is not necessarily a very profitable order. While it does give you growth, it doesn't necessarily give you bottom line. And that is why we are happier taking small and medium orders and occasionally taking a very large order that gives us the growth. But the small and medium orders are really the profitable orders. If you look at our growth history, both top line and bottom line, in the last 4 or 5 years, we've grown both on the top line as well as on the bottom line. But that is through a very strict management of the quality of orders that we are actually taking.
Directionally give us a sense in terms of what's the kind of order pipeline that we can expect going forward. Where are the big orders coming from? Where are we seeing smaller orders that you all are picking up?
So the big orders are coming or will come very clearly from the infrastructure segment. And that is what we are looking forward to. Power, mobility, smart infrastructure, distribution, HVDC, those are huge opportunities for us. In terms of factory space and private space, we see areas like automotive, pharma, food and beverages, cement as being real growth areas as well. So we are optimistic.